Alright, you guys, what's going on today? So today I want to talk to you guys about KRK Rokit G4 Troubleshooting. As we know, with equipment, with hardware, software, really anything that has to do with music or beyond, things happen. You are likely to have some problems in the future with one of your devices, and it's always helpful to know how to troubleshoot things when they happen. And there are a couple things that may or may not happen to your KRK monitors, but just in case, I kind of want to go through them and provide some solutions depending on what your problem is. One problem that I kind of hear of a lot is that people aren't getting power on their monitors. One of the main things is that you have to verify that your AC cord or socket is working in the back, which would be right over here. Make sure that that's in all the way and it's in tightly. Also make sure that your AC cord matches the voltage right down here, 100 to 240 volts. One of the biggest things is that these 3-prong AC cords are very, very popular. And for that reason, a lot of people assume that they're all pretty much the same. And while many consumer style AC cords are the same and they do use the same voltage, there are some that are different, and they just simply won't provide the right amount of power for your monitor. So make sure that you are using one that's at the same range. Whatever you do, don't use larger amperage than is specified on the back, because you could definitely blow your speakers, and that's a no-no. So that's how you deal with power. If you're not getting sound, if you're getting power but you're not getting sound, there are a couple things that you might want to look for. Check to see, first of all, if your AC outlet, check to see if other things are still operating. If they are, make sure that your sources are plugged in to the input and output. For me, I'm using an interface, so I have my computer running to my interface and then out of the studio monitors. You want to make sure that your cables are good. For me, I have a 1/4 inch to an XLR running out of these. If you're not getting any sound, try and swap out your cables and see if it's a cable issue. If it is, wonderful. All you need to do is just simply use different cables. Maybe your cables have stopped working. If the monitor at that point is still not producing sound, your best bet is to turn it into your KRK dealer, or bring it to whoever you bought it from for servicing. One thing that happens with these, and it's happened actually once for me, is that I've gotten these weird hisses and hums out of my KRKs. Again, a lot of this has to do with the power. You want to make sure that, again, like all your plugs and your cords are plugged in correctly. If you are using an unbalanced output, then I would highly recommend switching over to a balance. That's going to get rid of any rogue waves that are in the area and are maybe causing your monitors to hiss. If you have really excessive hissing or really excessive humming, it might just be incorrect gain setting before the speaker connection. You want to make sure that you shouldn't have to crank these really high. This is pretty loud right here for me. If I were to turn it up all the way here, it would just not sound good at all. And it would just be really dangerous. I could blow my monitors out. So note that you shouldn't really be having to turn up the gain on any device really, really high before going to these monitors. If you are, then you might need to put something in between those, some better A to D conversion, or some sort of device to act as a preamp to pump the necessary amount of gain into these without it being too much. So yeah, those are some very common problems that people run into with these KRK Rokit monitors. The website, KRK website's full of a lot of different troubleshooting forums and questions and answers and things like that. So if you have any other problems, I'd recommend going to them. If you have any insights into certain fixes with KRK Rokits, or you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And yeah, that is all. Take it easy, you guys.